Okay, so I got myself a graphics card and on my laptop here if I need to pull up any information, and I have the DJI Osmo I ordered. So I'm gonna set this up, pull this out, and unbox this and everything. And we're back. So this is the back of the Zotac 3070 Ti. Try to get closer so you can see it. Has the Yu-Gi-Oh holographic look. You can see it's the AMP edition. It is the bigger one with the RGB. Yep, 3070 Ti, 8 gigs VRAM. That's pretty much it. So they say it gives you an extended warranty. You gotta register at Zotac.com. I need a blade. I don't have a blade, so we're just gonna use scissors. In case anybody wondered or cared, it's a Ti, so the 70 Ti, 80 Ti, they are hardware LHR cards. The 3060 was a software-based LHR card, and the new 3080s, 60 Ti, 3070s are all hardware-based LHR cards. They all have different SKUs. This one is well, it's not an EVGA card, it's not going to tell you, but if this was a regular 3070, then it would have some labeling. I know everybody has their own different labeling saying that it's an LHR card. This is the front, the back of the box and everything doesn't have anything special. One second, I just want to check what the view looks like. Yeah, you can see. It has the little Zotac logo, and then you just gently pull this out. I don't want to rip any. I like my boxes remaining pristine condition. And then you can see inside it says Zotac Get Amplified, just, you know, their branding. Again, looks like a limited edition Yu-Gi-Oh card. So this probably has the thank you for purchasing our card, whatever little special thing. I mean, this is like the Strix for them. This is like their special card. Basically just advertisements saying, you know. And you get a sticker in here. Just that, and a quick installation guide. I'm pretty sure everybody watching this knows how to install a graphics card, so that doesn't matter. And I'll open this up, but it's nothing special. All right, I'm gonna put this back properly. On Power Color, they let you register the limited edition card on the website, and it's like, oh, you get access to like this private forum unless you own a Power Color card. I don't know if it's like that for Zotac. So you take this top part out. In here, here's the graphics cards. This is extremely cheap, so we're gonna bring it out real quick. Here's your little 8-pin splitters. They're not sleeved, they're not threaded, they're not nothing. It's just, you know, you have black and white, I guess, and then you have this one that is a brown, looks like it's almost maroon red. And then the same thing. It's basically just so you're using, it's an 8-pin to 2/6. So that's all it is. But it'd be nice if it was all black or sleeved or something. But of course it's like the cheapest of the cheap when it comes to adapters. Alright, so I'll put this here. The padding that's protected is thick, so that's nice. It's not just a sleeve, it's bubble wrap. Not everybody does that. And then here's the card. Right now, it's honestly pretty nice. I'm not gonna say it feels like it's powder coated, but the whole thing feels like it's coated. It's nice. It's kind of flimsy, so be careful. This is cool, this whole RGB bar. I mean, it kind of just looks like their version of like a Ventus or a Tough. I mean, if I had to say directly what this looks like, if you can look at the backplate, it looks like Zotac's version of a Power Color Red Devil. If you guys remember from that other video where you can see the backplate, it felt soft. This doesn't feel as soft as that one. That one felt very smooth. Out of all the air-cooled cards, the Power Color limited edition 6800 XT I had felt the best. The 6900 XT is gonna feel the same. It's just, you know, you have more CUs on the actual die. Serial number, GeForce RTX branding, it's not a sticker, you can't peel it off. PCIe slot cover, very thin, very small one. The little branding, the RGB along right here where the sticker is. Power bands, this part looks nice. I can get my duster and blow them, flicking these fans. And then the bottom, you can see it's a pretty thick heatsink and it dumps the heat. The nice part about heatsinks like this and the Asus Tough and that Power Color Red Devil, you have the fans sucking air in and they're gonna be just dumping the heat. And then same thing here, dumping the heat, and then same thing up here, dumping the heat. The Strix it has like sort of a shroud all around it, and that causes that turbulence noise. But for this, this should be pretty quiet. Also, it's only a 3070 Ti, so it's not really dumping that much power. I'm just looking at the pads. If you can see, the PCB only goes up till right here. From here to here is the PCB. The rest, that's just heatsink. You can see that, right? See the heat pipes? That's it. So, I mean, it is a small card if you water cooled it. You can see it. Ignore it from this portion on. Now, I don't think I'm gonna take this card apart. Yeah, we should go hook this up and check it out. But for an unboxing, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a quick little unboxing. What does it come with? And actually, I did not show the PCIe slot cover fell off, and I did not show the ports. So the ports come with the little plastics. You can see it's similar to the Ventus where it dumps the heat. The Asus Tough and the Asus Strix, they have a second HDMI 2.1 port. This doesn't have USB-C because obviously Ampere. And pull this out, you can see DisplayPort 1.4, DisplayPort 1.4, and it continues to the last port, HDMI 2.1. And like a lot of cards, it has 2 slots. Even the Strix has 2 slots, but you can see it's still a little bit thicker. So it's not like it's gonna fit in a 2 slot, just, you know, 2 slots and then it still hangs. So yeah, in another video I'll hook this up and we'll test how it performs. Everybody's already seen how these cards perform. I'm not really the guy gonna be running numbers, but what I can do is see how it sounds on load, full load, because everybody has, I don't have like scientific decibel meter to measure the audio levels, but I can measure it with my little phone camera method that I do. And personally, I don't know how it sounds. But if you really care about sound levels when playing games or doing whatever with these cards or rendering, then yeah, if you can water cool it. I am kind of upset that all of these cards are getting really, really hot. And there was a rumor saying that the new GPUs, the new CPUs, like the TDP is gonna go up. I mean, I overclock my stuff a lot. I already said in the past, I'm running a 10900K at 280 watts power limit, and my GPU is a Kingpin 3090 running at 520 watts power limit, and I'm running that with 2 NVMEs, no RGB, and another fan for my RAM. My RAM is at like 1.56 volts, and it's all running off a Corsair SFX 750 Platinum, and it works. You know, I haven't had a trip issue or anything, and it gets hot. It gets really hot, you know, and if I want to buy this new monitor that's like 5K, then, you know, it's going to be hot. And it's one problem, you know, we're wondering about, okay, we have a lot of heat on the card or the components, move the heat. All right, so you get an AIO, right? Or you build a loop. But all you're doing is moving that heat faster away from the component, but you're still dumping that heat in your room. So we still have a problem, right? So now it's like, you know, even if I'm running 2 360 AIOs on my little ITX case, right, I'm dumping that heat in the room. So like I gotta move this PC case to the loft or something. And then now I'm like, okay, you know, should I do a solution where I have a really long HDMI 2.1 cable in my monitor? Or like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I've gone on Reddit, I've seen some people make some crazy setups where, you know, they have a custom loop and they have a radiator going down to their basement and it's just dumping all the heat in their basement, and they use like a bucket from Home Depot for coolant. And it's like, dude, who cares? Like, how long is it going to take to saturate the heat in your basement? By that time, whatever you're doing that requires that much load probably is over. I know, like I said in the past, Linus has that video where he has a custom loop and he has a little closet next to his actual room, and he just drilled holes for the wires. So he has the computer room, closet in the computer room is where he puts his PCs, right? And then the heat dumps in that little closet. And he's busy, you know, he's a busy guy, you know, he probably goes to work or whatever he does, but by the time the heat saturates the loop and by the time it saturates the heat, all the heat builds up in that closet. I mean, the time he has, like, it's probably good enough unless he's leaving a workload running all the time. I have no idea what his HVAC solution is, but for me, if this is what it's going to be, it's okay to say, okay, it's just Ampere, it's okay, it's just 10th gen Intel, whatever. That's like 1 year, 1 generation. We're like 1 generation away from new cards, right? So like maybe a year from now. But it's one thing to say, oh, next gen's gonna be like that. So now I have to look at it 3 years out. All of a sudden, a case like the Winter 1 makes sense. Who needs 2 Hardware Labs 280 GTS RADs to move all this heat? That's a nice CNC case, you know, and it's like an Apple quality case. It's nice. But the thing is, it's like I'm still dumping that heat in my room. So my solution was putting that PC I had in the closet, and it just dumps all the heat in the closet. When I would open up the closet and like stand inside it, it would feel like 10 degrees hotter in that closet. And it gets hot, man. It gets hot. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, because if it gets that bad, I'm gonna put the PC in the closet again in my computer room and then let the heat just build up and dump over there. Or I'm gonna have like really long tubing and have a custom loop and then just have like the PC on my desk and it looks nice, and then I can just have the CPU, RAM, GPU all on water blocks, and then just have like, you know, a rad underneath my desk, and then, you know, I can dump the heat, but it's still dumping the heat on my legs or in the computer room. So we're gonna see what I do. If it gets really bad, the closet. But the thing is, it's like, how do I do the solution where the guy is dumping all of the radiator heat into the basement if your computer is on the second floor? And I've been moving around a lot lately. That's why I haven't uploaded or anything. I haven't had time to work on it. And you can't really have an ITX setup, you know, if you're moving around all this time. So it's like, okay, if I know I'm moving to 3 locations specifically, all right, and I know I have a sit stand desk in that location, all right, then I have a pump, a D5 pump or something, and a big rad, like a 480, you know, like something, like, or some solution, and then just hook it up with quick disconnects, and then that's it. And then all that heat, you know, is dumping wherever. Still an ITX setup. Maybe I leave like one rad attached to my Xtia, and then the other rad is just free, and then I can move around with that. We'll see. We will see. Because right now I'm not sure, but it still doesn't solve the solution of the heat being dumped into the room that I'm sitting in. So I'm trying to avoid having a room window AC in the locations that I'll be staying in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know that had nothing to do with the 3070 Ti, but it's still something you'll have to look forward to, because now people who are buying a card like this, I mean, look, let's ignore the silicon shortage issue right now, and let's just focus on performance per watt, right? And let's say I'm buying Intel and NVIDIA, because after all the testing I did, I'm biased. Intel, NVIDIA, they are more stable. Drivers, day one, if you want to debate it, look, I don't care. You can live your life however you want, but same thing. People who buy G-Sync compatible monitors without the module, if you had no issues, great, I don't care. But the reason why you pay more is because they have been more stable in my testing. I never thought going into 2021 that I was going to go out and purchase a MacBook, an Apple MacBook. I bought an iPhone for recording and it's just stable, and then AirPods and stuff, like all this Apple gear. And it's just, honestly, it's way more stable and it's great. I've been using it all the time and I love it. And I remote into my desktop most of the time. Why did I have an issue? I know how to flash custom ROMs on Android and all that, but the Android 11 update on the OnePlus 7 Pro, just buggy, dude. And OnePlus, I'm not saying that they did it on purpose to make you buy a OnePlus 9 Pro, but look, I've looked at all the latest Android phones and they all have an issue with recording for a time limit. Right now I'm recording at 4K 60 FPS in Dolby Vision HDR. I have no issues recording this. The only thing that will happen on an iPhone is you will run out of storage or battery life. I purchased a 512 gig model specifically for that. I went on a trip. I wanted everything recorded in the highest quality. I didn't want to purchase a DSLR camera. I just want it to be the best. And the best camera that you can record or take photos with is a camera that you can reach into your pocket or pull out the fastest. Me reaching to a backpack, setting up a lens, all this, it's a lot of work. And I understand that it is a compromise in quality, but it is a huge boon in terms of quality of life, and it's just easy for me to upgrade. It's also much easier to upgrade from iPhone to iPhone when they make a better one. It's a better camera, and the way that you can just move your backups and everything, text messages, photos, all that, the way it moves over. I was gonna get the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, but the front-facing camera is unacceptable for the price. The hardware is nice, battery life is just booty again. So I'm not paying Apple price for an Android phone. And I haven't had an iPhone since the iPhone 5 or 5S. That's my grandfather clock letting me know that it's 5 o'clock right now. I actually have to head out pretty soon. It's gonna, yep. Okay, it's done now. I actually do gotta head out pretty soon. I don't know if I'm just gonna leave the boxes like this and leave it like that and be in a talking format, but basically it's just a wrap up everything, because it's been actually a catch up, and it's a lot of stuff, yeah. But I need to figure out a solution to the radiators. I need to figure out a solution for my new desk setup because I have to build it. I have to figure out a solution for, no, I'm happy with for my NAS and data backup. So I need to, because with the videos I've recorded and haven't edited yet, all of the videos that I've been recording for this channel that are on like hard drive, I have a Western Digital black 4 terabyte, and I'm at like 3 terabytes for that. This iPhone is at probably less than 150 gigs free, from 512. So I really need to get a new hard drive, and I think I'm gonna get another hard drive, back up everything, including the NAS, and then I need to pay for some online cloud storage solution. Because right now, the easiest thing I've been doing, because that's a base model MacBook, they don't sell the 16 gig RAM model in store. For any of the M1 chips, just so anybody knows, it's a custom if you want 16 gigs RAM. So I was in a rush, I needed to go, and I really needed something. This doesn't sound stupid, but I broke my Lenovo Yoga ThinkPad X1. And the reason why is when I was going to list it to sell it, I was disinfecting it with one of those disinfecting wipes, and maybe I rubbed too hard. I have no idea. I've never had this issue before. And then the keyboard stopped working, and I reset Windows, everything, couldn't get it to work. The touchpad worked, the little nib in the middle worked, but couldn't get it to work. And I luckily had a friend check it out, and he was able to fix it, but I have no idea why it was acting up. Some people online said, what, this disinfecting wipe said it was for computers, keyboards, it should be safe. I have no idea. So I usually use isopropyl alcohol, and I just gently wipe with a microfiber cloth. So I would recommend that, or whatever method you guys do. But first time I ever used that disinfecting wipe from Costco, and it said it was for computer stuff as well, and whew, no idea, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But oh, my bad, for the performance per watt thing I was talking about. So they're gonna have a node shrink. New GPUs will be more powerful, right? They'll be smaller die sizes. I mean, not smaller die sizes, but what I meant. Like the node will be smaller, but the die could be big, whatever. So basically the point is the performance per watt, we went from 250 watts on, I think like a 2080 Ti, and we're going up to like 280, 320 watts. I know 320 watts is a 3080, and then you have 3090s, like 350 watts. And then if you overclock the 3090 FE to the max, it's 400 watts with the power limit maxed out, and then the voltage maxed out to 420 watts. So basically, with the next generation of GPUs, you can get like a 3090 performance, maybe, back in that 250 watt, and don't mention the undervolting, all right? I don't want to go into some people can do undervolting properly and it doesn't crash. And then it works in a game without RTX, but then you play a game with RTX and DLSS, a combination of both, and then it crashes. And the simple solution would be, okay, raise your undervolt by like 25 millivolts or 50 millivolts, but let's just talk about normal stuff here. So a 3090 FE is using 350 watts of power, right? That's stock. Maybe next gen GPUs, we can get that down to like 280, 250 watts. Maybe, I don't know. But if you can, now we can go back to running it as a true 2-slot cooler. But the thing is, you're still staying at the same performance levels. And if I'm purchasing a 5K mega ultra wide 32:9 monitor, then I want all the performance I could get. So I'm still going to be running the XOC BIOS. And if the XOC BIOS right now in a Kingpin is 520 watts, and then there's rumors of saying 400 watts, 500 watts, it's like, so what's the XOC BIOS now? A shunt mod, 700 watts? So I have no idea. You definitely need, custom looper 360 rad or something, right? Even the Sapphire 6900 XT, or is it the Toxic actually 6900 XT? That one has a 360 millimeter AIO attached to it. So I have no clue. And it's a shame because all of the APUs are trash, You're buying like, it's just, you're not gonna get a PS5 in an APU yet. I'm gonna still have to wait a bit for it. The technology does exist, you just can't have it. So until AM5, we'll see. And the GPUs for normal people below $400 is what I'm saying. It just doesn't exist. Yeah. So I'm glad I bought my little cousin a 1660, and it is what it is. It's just, you don't have APUs to save you. You don't have, so really, I think the ideal for ITX and for me is sub 10 liters and top end components. In the middle is probably the best, purchasing a 2080 Ti, let's ignore the silicon shortage and all that. That was worth, when you get a 3070, if a 3070 really was a 2080 Ti, which it isn't, you can go look up if you know you power modded and everything, 2080 Ti is a better card. You have more VRAM as well. It's just like the best bang for buck is usually like that, like middle tier option, like that 70 series. And this time, definitely, if you could have got a 3080 FE for MSRP, that's a beautiful card. If you pad modded, even better, you know. And then it would actually fit. Now, would it thermally have issues in a Ghost S1 or something? Yeah, maybe, you know. But it's a nice card. It feels nice. I really like the 3090 FE as well. You pad mod it, you drop like 20C on the memory. You know, it's a nice card as well. It feels nice. If we could get Noctua fans on it, I mean, it would be really cool if that Noctua Strix card actually does come out. But right now it's only a 3070, so it would be nice if a 3090 version of that came out. But I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about buying any more 3090s because it's already like a year into this generation. And then everybody just kind of wants the new cards. Either you're happy with the 3090 performance and the amount of VRAM that it has, and then you just purchase a card like that with lower power, you know, so you don't cook yourself in your room. And then you can have a more realistic ITX setup, or it's the opposite where, you know, I want something that's just the top end and I really want to have that next level experience. But I am really impressed with Ratchet & Clank on the PS5, and that thing is supposed to be equivalent to a 2070 Super, but with a Gen 4 NVMe, right? And it's fantastic. It really is. The adaptive triggers and everything. The only games I'm looking forward to right now are Hot Wheels, Unleashed, I think it's called, and Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, and Battlefield 2042, sort of, but if it feels like Battlefield 5, then I hate it. I loved Battlefield 3 because of the Frostbite engine, and I loved Battlefield 4, even though the first 6 months were completely broken. So we'll see. I loved COD because I just loved the way like the gunplay was and it felt so good. But then, you know, you got Warzone, you got hackers, and I just don't. The tracer bullets ruined it for me, man. I don't care about those blinding LEDs that they attach on the bullets. It's stupid. They can add the crazy skins like in Valorant, but that's just annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you if you stayed for the rambling, and have a great day, okay? Peace.